Hello everyone, Tim Taylor here with this month's T3 video. I hope everyone is doing well. Let's go ahead and hop right into our resources here. The first thing I want to talk about, and I mentioned this last year, is looking at Google Drive. You should be aware now that there is a Team Drive option within Google Drive. It's over here on the left-hand side. And the reason Team Drives were created, people discovered pretty quickly that if you had people that were sharing folders with each other, if the person that created that folder or had files in there, if that person left the school division for whatever reason, you ran into that issue that the other people that documents were shared with, as soon as that person's account was deleted, then all those documents or folders disappeared. So Google heard our questions and requests to set up some kind of configuration in Drive where you can have multiple people that own it and have edit rights. And so that's where Team Drive came from. So now everyone, all the teachers do, no students, even though students can be added to Team Drives, they don't have the ability to create them. But now staff can create Team Drives for people they can share with, and they can give them full access to be able to add new members, have co-ownership, or again, multiple people having ownership. So if one person on the team happens to leave or their account's deleted, people can still have access to the folders, etc. Now, I highly recommend that, for example, I'll go ahead and click on technology here because we use one of our school board office. Notice that there are 8 members in this one here because it mentions the members. Notice that all of the ones in our group all have, for the most part, full membership. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us, and then some have just view rights. I highly recommend having at least 2 people that have full rights. Okay, so again, if one person leaves of those 2, the other one can go ahead and add another full member, or also has the ability then to add additional members. So keep that in mind as well whenever you do it. But think carefully before you set up a Team Drive. Officers' advantages to it, besides what I just mentioned about in case someone leaves. It's nice that it is kind of separate to itself. One thing that they're working on, unfortunately, you can take individual files from My Drive and put them into Team Drive, but you can't copy an entire folder from My Drive into Team Drive right now. But the last point that I want to make here, and again, we're going to share this out division wide in other ways. I do want to mention it here, is we want to have a consistent naming theme when it comes to Team Drives. So, for example, there might be a 5th grade Team Drive at Ashby Lee Elementary School, but the thing is, you might have one at Robinson, you might have one at Sandy Hook. So please put an acronym of your school before you create a Team Drive. And if you've already created them, use them, which we know people have. You can very easily rename, okay, by right-clicking on the name of your Team Drive and just clicking rename. Because, for example, we have one called Technology, and since it's really for the technology team up here at the school board office, I'm going to go and rename it to SBO Technology. So if you have created teams or you're looking to create Team Drives, please put the acronym of your school first. So like SHES for Sandy Hook, CHS Central, you get the idea. That way, whenever we get a look at drives, Team Drives, and it comes to management up here at the admin level, we can see specifically what school it belongs to without having to go in and look at the members and try to figure it out. So please spread that word around there to other people that are creating Team Drives. Like I said, we're going to try to get the word out in other means, other ways also. The other thing I want to point out is we went to a Google thing last Wednesday, and you will be seeing a refreshed or new Google Calendar here pretty soon. I'm not sure exactly when it will hit. There's some pretty nice features right there. If you're not using Google Calendar, I hope you really consider using it because it is a great tool. But what's nice is anytime that, for example, you can set up resources that you can book like a room whenever you add an event. They now have added to the calendar that you can see actual details whenever you're booking a room. Like we have our SBO training room set up, other conference rooms up here. I know you all have like rooms you all use in your school, but it's nice you can actually see information about the room when it comes down to the phone, maybe a phone in the room, information like that. So it's neat that you can now see some details. The thing I really like is now when it comes down to sending invites to people for events on your calendar, you can actually add rich formatting and also hyperlinks. So imagine where you can now have links right specific to the agenda. Whenever they get the invite, there's an opportunity to put a whole lot more information in here that's real easy to access instead of going right back to the actual event in the calendar itself. It's right there in the invite, so that's nice. And the other thing that was they point out to us is you can actually do in day view, show multiple calendars you have access to side by side, but you got to be in day view. So you can easily see what some of your comrades, colleagues' day looks like compared to yours when it comes to finding available times maybe you want to meet, et cetera. So it's pretty neat things. And again, that can show up anytime now. All right, the last tool I want to show you, this is pretty neat. I can't remember where I discovered it. But if you go to just a simple URL, www.classroomscreen.com, what this allows you to do is really it's a great tool that you can just project up on the wall via your projector, and you just add common tools that you can use in your classroom. Now you can't save it. In other words, it always just refreshes to a blank slate every time it comes up. So it's something you just kind of pull up, and I kind of like that simplicity of it all. But all your tools are down here at the bottom. There's a little info button you can click on. You can actually change the language, okay, which is kind of a neat tool. And anytime you open something up, you can always just click the X to close it out. So you have the ability to change languages. If I want to, I can change the background. They have some backgrounds here given, but if you want to, you can do a random button here, but also you can upload your own background image if you want. I can just get rid of that by clicking the X. I'll just keep the stars here. This is a nice little tool. I know people need something. It's a random name generator. So just imagine you can go ahead and copy and paste. Of course, you can move these things around, but you just copy and paste the names of all your students, and then click on choose, and a name will show up right here. So you have the random name picker tool you can put on your screen. Again, if you ever want to delete it, you just click on this X at the bottom, or if you want to add another one, just hit this +1. Okay, you have a sound level. Okay, this is for Chrome or Firefox. Okay, that you can go ahead and actually have a microphone, do some recordings, etc. I really haven't tried that one yet, so check it out. You can easily put a QR code on your screen. You just got to put the URL of where you want people to be able to use their phones or devices that has a camera. They can quickly take a snapshot of this QR code and go to whatever website you put in here, and you can make the QR code bigger by just clicking on this plus sign. All right, and again, if you want to add more, you can hit the +1. You also have a drawing tool, okay, where you can go ahead and actually, drawing tools will come up. What you can do is you can draw on a blank screen, but on the lower left-hand corner, you have your different options. You can change it to black, white. If you hit the one with the red line, it goes right back to the original screen you had. You also have grid line views here. You can change the size of your drawing tool. Also, you have different colors here. So you imagine you can, for example, come down here. Let me make this a little bit bigger. And you can actually just put your screen in half, and maybe you have groups. So you can put in here group 1. This over here can be group 2. So in other words, you can put a 1 in here. Okay. And then over here you can put a 2. And then you can actually divide up and put directions, okay, for like a couple groups going on in your classroom. Okay, you also have this drawing tool here, okay, where it has an individual drawing window that you can draw in. Okay, so one's full screen. Here you can have your own little separate drawing window. I'll close that out. Other thing is you can just put a nice little text box on here. So you can put text, type it anywhere you want. You have various formatting. Again, you can make it bigger by hitting on the plus sign once you put text in there. Neat little tool there. Again, I'm going to go ahead and delete some of these things so you can see more. You also have work symbols, kind of neat. So for example, if you want your class to be silent, just click on silence. Okay, you can drag this up, whisper, ask neighbor, or you can work together. So I know sometimes y'all have other little visual clues or cues, excuse me, that you put up for your classrooms. Here it is all right built in here. The other thing you have is a traffic light. I've seen some people use that. You can put it on red, yellow, green. Okay, again, sometimes people use this to control the volume in the classroom, whether there's talking or not. And then also you have a timer that you can easily click on and pull up. You can set the timer as to whatever time amount that you want. All you got to do is just click, okay, on these here. And all you do is click here to start it. And of course, there will be a visual clue there, or excuse me, an audio sound whenever it's finished. I'll get that off. And then the last thing is if you want to, you can go ahead and pull up the clock. It reads the computer timer up your computer screen. You can do military, or excuse me, a 24-hour, excuse me, or 12-hour. And then also, of course, it shows the date here as well. So pretty neat tool here that you can just pull up anytime you want. I think it's great, of course, if you just kind of keep it as a tab here. But again, once you close it out, it's done. It's not like it saves it. So it's just it's one of those quick snapshot tools you can use. But it's kind of neat. So many popular tools all at one spot. Okay, for our secret password for the door prize, okay, let's go ahead and use the word screen, since we're talking about this classroom screen tool. So again, the secret word to be eligible for the door prize, and again, eventually the grand prize of the Chromebook at the end of the year, the word is screen. Hope everyone's doing well. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to get hold of me. Take care.